Well, it appears that many things are going on at the same time. And I have to admit that I I was sleeping and well, at least I thought I was sleeping. At least I was trying to rest because I was feeling very exhausted today. I am working snow removal, and in the process of my desire to get rest, what occurs is I receive a phone call from Hawaii to make me wake up. And in my awakening, I've come to discover that I need to do this, which is what's happening now. So I know things are happening that needs to be addressed. And as I was giving thought, I heard that I need to reveal myself for who I am and no longer hide who I am. So I have many things written all over the place that needs to be shared. I am a vessel. I will begin this reading so that we can get through this. This is the second day of this processing of my podcast activities. So I'm looking to see how to adjust myself, and my indications are mirrored, but not quite because I need to focus. With that being said, let's grab my glasses and see what I can see to do what I can do. I'm going to read this. Global disruptions are tearing humanity apart, when in truth, our living has always been designed for living as one unified world of people, caring for the positivity and collective growth of everyone through love. I am King Teasdale. That is my name. I am the giver and receiver of a deeper wisdom. My allegiance is to the spirit of truth, the kingdom of love, and the King of Kings, who goes by many names. I am the vessel and founder of the Souls of Life Society. I think we got too much light going on here. We come in harmonizing the unity for love to thrive so that humanity can survive and prosper. The primary reasoning behind the creation of the Souls of Life Society and our push towards a collective agenda of the removal of confusion movement, is also known as the ORAC, is based on the recognition that we all have been given the power of choice to use wisely when we awaken to this alignment, which is that there is no separation except by a choice that is not aligned to the divine intent of love. Our primary focus is to deliver the message that emotional wellness and mental stability are intricately linked to spiritual well being. I am launching my podcast on February the 1st, titled King Teasdale Speaks Wisdom to Make It Make Sense. Today is February the 2nd. I am forcing myself into a role that I have to take responsibility of. So I am here now doing what's called progress, not perfection. So as I continue to read the script, it goes as follows. King Teasdale speaks wisdom to make it make sense because humanity has inadvertently drifted far from its true purpose. And I am convinced that humanity is not doing enough to reach our highest potential. Now I must come forth to give that report as your first independent investigative observer of living life and love. I am the IIOOLAL, IIOOLAL. If you want to pronounce it, that's probably what it's going to sound like. The mysteries of life are in the power of the tongue, but a tongue that does not speak serves no benefit for those in need of how to learn and love and evolve to another level of being. I came across this scripture that was sent to me. It's Proverbs, the 25th chapter. Inadvertently, I was sitting there listening to a streaming of a service for my mother enjoys watching the sermons that are coming forth from various places, but she doesn't really have the acumen to function these smart TVs. So there I am. And this minister says that, if I'm not mistaken, it's Proverbs, the 25th chapter, second verse. And it said something like this. It is to the glory of God to conceal a thing, but it is to the glory of kings to seek these things out. So I have here what I'll continue reading. Please forgive my yawning. I'm going to learn how to do all of this properly. But right now, it's about breaking the glass ceiling of not coming forth. I've been afraid for years. I've always thought that Martin Luther King had come forth to do what he needed to do. Um, John F. Kennedy wanted to do something to appease the needs that people have here in these United States. Malcolm X, Robert F. Kennedy, and somehow, some way, they killed these guys. And I've been living in fear for too long. Whether I achieve a level of greatness that these guys have done, including Martin Luther King, I do not know. But what I do know is what I must do. So I'm going to read this thing in its entirety. And those who hear this, please comment. Let me know what your feelings are. Let me get a better idea as to what I need to do and how I need to go about doing these things. So let me just read this thing out in its entirety without stopping, if that'll work. I don't know. Sometimes I make comments on my own comments. Here we go. To search out these mysteries has always been the true mission of kings. And this is the driving force of what true royal alignment will do in revealing it's time to rise for such an occasion. That sounds pretty good. So I'm going to read the whole paragraph so that hopefully we will have what's known as a congruency and a flow. The mysteries of life are in the power of the tongue, but a tongue that does not speak serves no benefit for those in need of how to learn and love and evolve to another level of being. To search out these mysteries has always been the true mission of kings. And this is the driving force of what true royal alignment will do in revealing its time to rise for such an occasion. The calling forth of this era for new education reveals itself, especially when it becomes clearly evident that former rules don't apply the power they should have had upon the schemes of the unrighteous against the benefits of the whole, but instead scheme only for the self-serving. Once you find your identity, you will discover what entity rules your soul. Okay, let me explain what that is. If you look at the word identity, look at it carefully, you will discover that entity is within it. I hope to bring to the table a better understanding that my personal belief is English is a mystical language because there are words that sound the same and mean different things. But if you listen to the word, and sometimes if you even observe the word carefully, you'll discover a hidden meaning of the word, such as the word live, Live. If you turn that word around, it's Evil. And when you live a backward life, or if you live life backwards, wouldn't that be evil? Because live and evil are the same letters. Inverted, it means totally different things. Let us continue with our reading. Once you find your identity, you will discover what entity rules your soul. There is no one without a soul, but not everyone is willing to allow love to guide and direct their actions through divine operation. For it is written, okay, here it is. It is to the glory of kings to conceal it. I'm sorry. It is to the glory of God to conceal a thing, but is to the glory of kings to seek them out. Therefore, come let us gather and reason once again in the power that truth shall always prevail. The King of Kings calls forth his kings to come. Therefore, come out from among the hidden and join me as I come to join with him as one. I am the founder and vessel of the Souls of Life Society. We harmonize the unity needed for Black organizations to thrive. We harmonize the unity needed for humanity to survive. we have come to recognize that the original man and woman of the earth and the founders of civilization has their roots in what's known as the motherland, Akubalan, which is also known as Africa, the continent. And every ethnicity, in essence, has been birthed from that energy, that space, that primordial aspect of physicality. But you see, there is that which is beyond the physical. There is that which is beyond the physical because it is the manifestation of the spiritual. And the spiritual came before the physical. That which was seen that could not be seen was on the scene before there was anything that could be seen. Let's get back to the script. I keep doing this. Okay, let's see how we're going to do this time. Hey, look, I got a new hat. Lord help us. Please forgive me, guys. It's like this is brand new stuff to me. I don't know. Um, we're going to look back on this and we're going to say, good Lord, what the heck is going on over there? God, man. Look. Let's take this off. Let's throw that there. Let's do this here. That's the way it's supposed to be. Let's put a hood on like we're supposed to in the first place. We're 17 minutes in, and I have to remember that this is a mirror. So if I want this side to move, I have to move this side. Gee, B. Willikers. Let's get this. Truly, building a community takes guts and true grit. But rebuilding a nation of divine love takes courage beyond human capacities. Let the building of the nations through the truth and the power of the kingdom of love within and throughout the unified field of heart take its place. I like that. That sounds good. You guys want me to read that again? Just let me know. In the comments. Comments are open and available. All right, now we're on page 3. I have 5 pages of this. I'm going to read through this page nonstop. Okay? Let's give it a shot. Here we go. Trust me when I tell you, and Andrew must have first come. Now, let us resonate to master this mind's mind. A beautiful mind, a mastery of love through divine operation. For no matter what happens, we are the ones who are committed to rise at 4:44 together to meditate at 4:44 together to gather as one. For it is written, and let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. But they never make translations say this reason, this within you with Christ Jesus also reasoned And then again, the Aramaic says, and reason in your soul this, that also Yeshua, the Messiah, did, which basically translates as think the same thing among yourself, which is also in Christ Jesus, which is having the attitude of Christ. Therefore, we need to construct, after each meditation, the introduction of a passage upon which the group is to meditate during the weekly experience of their life, so that we come together to gather on both Saturday and Sunday for our collective discourse, which would be cool conversation that drives success. Okay, look, I got to interrupt. Apparently, I did not do what was necessary here because I was supposed to be editing something that I had been using the speech recognition for. So I'll come back and read this thing at another time. But I'm going to finish what I just said I was going to do, which is finish this page. Listen to these words: transforms, transcends, and transmute represent distinct levels of profound change. Transform signifies a significant alteration in form, thought, or character. Transmute means changing the fundamental foundational essence or the nature of a thing or someone, either alchemically or emotionally. And the word transcends means rising above all else or exceeding established limits of limitations that act as boundaries against productive growth, development, or expansion of conscious awareness. These together represent a path from alteration to higher levels of elevation towards divine authority and appointment. Most people are totally unaware that the word information contains the word inform, which happens to be a compound word that signifies what actually forms within a person, a place, a thing, or a thought process. I'm going to explain that one. I'm at the end of the page, so I have the right to do so. It's a compound word. First of all, we were just talking about form because in the unified field, there is energy. The manifestation of energy in the unified field was all neutral at one point in time. The neutral energy of the unified field, that which is within itself, as the whole of all there is, was, and can be, is energy. And you know the law of thermodynamics. Energy doesn't shoot. Energy doesn't create. Okay. Energy does not dissipate. It only, man, I know what it says, but I just can't get it out. So I'm going to do my best to spit it out. Energy is not created, nor is it destroyed. It is only transformed. Energy is not created, or energy is not dissipated or destroyed. It only transforms. Okay, with that being said, let me kind of hone in. Energy was neutral because it did not need to be anything else but energy, plain and simple. When the necessity came forth for individualization, energy had to develop a polarity. Polarity is a manifestation of tension between two poles to bring forth form. So form comes forth because energy had to choose polarity for its next level of operation. Its next level of operation was physicality. And this physicality came forth from polarity that brought forth form. This form is in energy. Hence, form in energy is in form. Okay? Now, stick with me here. In form is what happens when the word comes to the synapses to orchestrate and construct from that which is energized to go to another level. So, information is the formation within ourselves, within our minds, of the thing that we need in order to move forward. Sometimes, in order to remove the confusion. Sometimes, in order to find the truth. Okay, let's wind ourselves back in. And we can use all of that for discussion at another time. Okay, let's read this next page because I want to get through this. And it's only we're only 28 minutes in, so I think we're okay. I think this may have already been edited to make sense, but I will go back through the document because look, I've been having trouble, man. It's like I have been having interferences that is trying to block the messages from getting out to you guys that needs to be heard, that needs to be identified and recognized so that we can activate what's necessary across the board. So, you guys, I ask that you pray for me. Get me to a place of being protected from these forces that are trying to bring delay and confusion and unnecessary disruptions that should not exist. Okay, this is page 4. Listen carefully. I think we're on to something here. The time for new education has been long overdue, and the unfortunate aspect of this delay has allowed an archaic formulation of misunderstandings that cannot fit as effective mechanisms within our current vibrational level of higher attainment of growth for our collective. The total thinking capacity of our collective humanity is all about information. Unfortunately, information does not serve as a suitable substitute for knowledge granted or true knowing revealed. Alignment, calibration, frequencies, and certain vibrational components of energies and elements of the elemental have also been totally out of synchronization from what was init, initially initially and originally intended for our collective smooth transition into our true spiritual evolutionary development. Please forgive me. I've had an injury a couple of years ago that interrupts my pattern of speech. Initially, look at that. I can say it now. Originally, I did strike my head, and the size of my head was the size of a cantaloupe. And I find that every so often I have what appears to be some difficulties in communicating as fluently as I would like to. Initially and originally, I can say the words now. This is crazy. Okay, let's get through this. I'm going to read it again. I hope you don't mind. Please forgive me if it bothers you, but I am healing and I am pushing through. Alignment, calibration, frequencies, and certain vibrational components of energies and elements of the elemental have also been totally out of synchronization from what was initial. I can't believe that happened. Uh, Initially and originally intended for our collective smooth transition into our true spiritual evolutionary development, which apparently is evident in what happened in me trying to read that paragraph. Okay, I got two more paragraphs on this page. Our collective nature as physicality was always to continually evolve from what was into what is to become a higher version of ourselves through, quote unquote, the good stuff already given and distributed. But instead, we all have been misled toward destruction and destructive behavior, not becoming of the gifts of living life from the beginning of love's induction into our mortal bodies. Last paragraph. The time for these teachings have been long overdue. Unfortunately, the manipulation of various methodologies and practices have not remained in total conformity to the power of love, but instead have condoned the influential power of other forces, not in congruent alignment with living love and living life that heals this total creation of earth and its inhabitants. This is the reasoning for my needing. Okay, this is the last page, guys. This is the reasoning for my needed appearance as the IIOOLAL, the IIOOLAL, the IIOOLAL. I know, right? I can't even speak words that make sense, and then I'm going to create a word. Anyway, which actually means the independent investigative observer of living life and love. Okay, this is the reasoning for my needed appearance as the IIOOLAL, who know nothing about, because independence has been stripped from the consciousness of our spiritual DNA after individualization was misinterpreted as separation and divisive thought. Okay, that didn't make sense to me. So I'm going to come back to that as I clean up this mess. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And I appreciate you guys who stick with this. Thank you. This is the last paragraph for the most part. And then I'm going to be complete. And then I'm going to go ahead and do what I need to do in order to, because it's about progress, not perfection. And I have to force myself through these things in order to be the excellence that we need for our community at large. You know, my lighting is off. All sorts of things are going on that shouldn't be going on. But hey, I'm doing the best I can with what I got. And I got to do something with it, because if I don't, it ain't going to get done. Okay? So, last paragraph, hopefully. Oh, Lord. What the hell? Okay. All right, look. This is crazy. I got to read this. What the hell? Okay, listen. Thank you guys for um, helping me go through this. This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to read it just because it's here, just to kind of show you guys that uh, I need some help, right? Now, of course, AI is out here now, and AI could probably take this thing and make it sound so much better. But artificial intelligence and divine intelligence are not the same thing, nor is my intelligence the same thing as either one of those. So now that we're on the same page, let's see what kind of mess I have here, because I have no idea what the hell is going on. Okay, I'm going to do this. This is me going into my prayer energy so that I can be guided by the divine and what is on the page, so that I can reveal what should be revealed. And this is what is before me. This is a strange notion that we have to take to heart, for it is written, ever since the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom has been advancing. The next line says this: why did you drop your camera, Alex? I have no idea what that means. The next line says, to change my life, to even suggest that just a girl in a caged painting, whatever. Wait a second. What is that on the cage? Blind, no chains. This cage is not a prison. It is the edge of the conscious mind thought. Okay, so clearly that there's something that needs to be taken care of here. And it appears as if maybe the speech recognition caught a conversation or something else that occurred that should not have occurred, I would believe. But what I always try to do for myself is I'm always trying to discover the deeper meaning behind everything that comes my way because everything is for a reason. Everything has purpose. You have purpose. And there is purpose in all things. With that being said, we have entered into our 40-minute mark for this particular, I guess we'll call it a podcast. And I'm being real, I'm being open, I'm being authentically myself. And I got to get it together because that's what's supposed to happen. So thank you for allowing me to share. And I'm going to get out of here. I think I looked at the last port of this, and I thought that it made sense. So I'm going to read the last section and hope to be able to translate it because it's necessary. This is the subconscious that receives only, returns the weather we taught it by life, a letter of light, of courage, of possibility, because of the storm began within. New letters teach the sea a new language. The waves remember, and they soften. This is letters to the subconscious. You are not broken, not late, not behind. Okay, so I don't know what the hell that is, but I do like that last line. This is letters to the subconscious. You are not broken, not late, not behind. Within new letters teach the sea a new language. Hmm. All right, let me process here. Within new letters teach the sea a new language. The waves remember, and they soften. This is letters to the subconscious. You are not broken, not late, not behind. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. The storm began within. Thank you for allowing me to share. We're at the 45-minute mark, and keep me in prayer so I can know when and what I need to do next. Please comment, please share, so that you can see my evolution as I continue to move forward to this responsibility that is mine and mine alone. And I don't want it to drive me crazy. Yet, I need us all to attain a level of mental stability and emotional wellness through love and the kingdom of love as one. Namaste, family.